make a pretty big claim. I think this is the single most important coffee maker in the development of American coffee. I'm talking about the original Mr. Coffee automatic coffee maker. And this is unique, as far as I know, insofar as it has two switches. That's because, unlike almost every other brewer, it has a heating element on the top and a heating element in the bottom. Because, unlike other coffee makers, the water just sits up at the top in here and then goes down past the heating element into your coffee. If you take a look at it from beneath, you can see that there's very little going on here. You have the heating element here and the cord going to the water reservoir in the back. It's not the fact that this is the first automatic coffee brewer, drip brewer, patented in the United States. The thing that makes it so important is the fact that Joe DiMaggio was its spokesperson, and it may very well have single-handedly changed the way in which men behaved in the kitchen. Because if Joe DiMaggio could make coffee in this, so could every man. This coffee maker was patented in 1971. By 1975, over 1 million of these have been sold. We're going to see if it can still brew at precisely 200 degrees Fahrenheit, which was one of the critical elements in its design. I'm going to compare a slightly later iteration of the Mr. Coffee, one which is still fairly vintage, but definitely is much closer to the modern drip coffee maker insofar as it has a water reservoir that fills the tank, the heating element down here, which sends the water up and cascading down over the grounds for extraction. One of the problems with this coffee maker that I can see right now is the mechanism that allows the water to go past the heater isn't perfectly sealed. And I'm going to link to a video that goes into much greater detail about the makeup of this. So it's dripping. It's not exactly at 200 degrees, but it's pretty darn close. And also, given that this is a meat thermometer, this beef is very well done. It looks like it's about a degree hotter than its younger brother. So it doesn't seem to be able to moderate the temperature quite as well as I think it might have hoped to. 206. The original Mr. Coffee makes a very quick cup of coffee. Not that the younger sibling doesn't eat. It turns out I actually started the newer one about 36 seconds later than the older one. One notable difference, and this might just be the two makers that I have, or two models that I have, this one seems to be kicking out a tremendous amount of steam from the top, whereas the original just put the water through. After the taste test, I am going to say I think I like the new one just a little bit better. Oh, we've got a visitor. But to be perfectly honest, the difference between the two is very minimal. I'm really impressed at how well this probably 50-year-old coffee maker made predominantly out of plastic held up. I think I like the coffee a little bit better from the newer model, which is probably also at least 30 years old. But by and large, they were very similar. I don't think I would recommend this to anybody. It's an interesting novelty. I think it is tremendously significant in the history of the American kitchen, let alone American coffee making. But with its two heating elements and the fact that they're both fairly potent and powerful, it's probably just easier to use a different sort of drip. However, I have to say, both of these did a really good job of heating water to just slightly over 200 degrees. And if, as James Hoffmann says, one of the primary reasons that automatic drip coffee makers fail is that they don't get the water hot enough, I think you're going to find that older coffee makers do a really good job of getting the extraction right.